Magazine Workout is created and produced by High Bar Productions. Anja and I are training triceps with Lenda Murray, 3-time Miss Olympia. You ready to get into the tricep training?
I am ready.
Okay.
More than ready.
Good.
Go.
The first exercise we're doing in our tricep routine is tricep push down. You notice that Lenda's using a straight bar. She's keeping her elbows in close to her sides, which isolates the long head of the tricep, the meaty part of the tricep.
Come on, give me
Good.
one more. One.
Nice, smooth motion. You don't want to ever jerk it down because this creates elbow problems if you do any kind of jerking motion. Good. Who's next?
You okay?
Okay. Okay.
Come on, Anja.
You mean you're not using more weight on you than Lenda? These two are having some sort of a competition here.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Now, boy, what's the like with her grip here? So I noticed sometimes you use different grips. One in like this.
Yeah, the grip that she's using works the long head of the tricep. I'm going to use a handle and do a little different variation. I'll show you the difference between working the long head and the outer head of the tricep. Okay, I'm going to change handles here.
Take the cable there.
All right.
So you really want to get this
I'll do
tension going on.
Right, I'd like to support my back on this movement and grab the rope up high and then lean forward, keep the elbows out. This works the outer head of the tricep.
That's a good variation of it. Come on. And if you want a spot, you always grab it here.
How you get some great tricep. Come on, foot. Great foot.
No striations going on there. Good.
Make us ladies work.
Oh, let's get it. Let's move on to the next exercise. Okay. Who's up next?
Lenda.
Okay. Our next exercise in our tricep routine is overhead tricep extension, one arm. Okay, this is a great movement to work the long head of the tricep. Best way to do that is isolate the long head by keeping the elbow above the head, which is exactly what Lenda's doing. Notice how erect she's sitting. She's not getting any body motion into the movement.
She's keeping a great form. And notice before she had the hand on behind the back, which gave her even more stability. But you don't need it. I mean, she's doing great. And that's why she's like,
That's right.
I'm learning here. I'm learning.
Okay, you're next.
Then you show me.
You just want to do the right arm?
Well, we got to catch both sides,
That's
Lenda.
right. On a lopsided body, right?
See, I should not have mentioned it, but I like
Is that the confusing principle?
No, that's really not. That's really not. We get along great, so we're having fun here in the workout.
Good. Good. All the way up, all the way down.
Good.
Again, this works the long head of the tricep. The tricep is actually 2/3 of the arm size. People are always concerned in bodybuilding, I want big arms, and they think only biceps. Actually, the triceps is even more important for adding real arm size.
You know what? I like to hold mine.
Great.
Feel
Put it in place.
when I'm,
It keeps the elbow straight up.
and
That's
I
great.
feel it when I'm training.
Lenda, how much time do you devote to arm training? Do you devote more time to arm training or less in some body parts? I know, like for myself, I do less arm work because my arms just naturally tend to grow easier.
Well, mine don't grow as quickly
As other body, say as your delta.
as my delta, my back. But I do pay
Come on, Anja.
special attention when I do my arm training.
Great. Drive it up, Anja.
Come on.
That's
push.
good. All the way.
Set.
Great.
See, by holding on, sometimes you don't have the mirror when you work out, so you can really see what's going on in your muscles, but now you feel it. That's why I'm holding on.
Tell me something. I mean, do women bodybuilders spend as much time looking at themselves in the mirror as men bodybuilders?
You want to see the progression, right?
Okay.
Progress.
All right.
All right.
I want to see if all this work pays off.
Notice how he gets a good stretch. Lets the weight go down.
Yeah.
Good stretch. Up and squeeze. Okay. Tracks the weight up.
And I mean, in this exercise, you don't want to spot somebody. I mean, if you need a spot to do it yourself, you raise your hand and help yourself.
Help yourself up. That's right. Come on. Good set. Excellent set. I like this excellent form. Yes.
One more time.
Excellent set. Good. Push. Come on. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. See a lot of movement going on there.
Nice. A lot of control with that weight.
Yes.
Excellent control.
Okay, all right.
For a professional bodybuilding competition, first of all, you need several years of serious weight training behind you. You need mature muscle. If you're a professional bodybuilder, you should have very mature muscle. The diet, of course, again, is very important, the 3 months prior to it. But actually, before the diet, all the work has been done over, like, for example, for me, 8 years of hard work. Without that, I, would not be able to go on the stage and have a Miss Olympia physique.
This particular exercise works the long head of the tricep, which is actually 2/3 of the arm size. If anybody wants big arms, this is a must exercise.
If you want motivation, just look at Vince's arms. Okay, here we go. Now, Vince, do you have this machine where you train? Have you done this before?
No, this is the first time usage on this one. I'm kind of like a free weight guy more so, but I adventure all the time, so this is a pretty smooth movement also.
Okay, boy, pump them up. Let's go. Give me 4 more. This is similar to the lying tricep extension to the forehead with the straight ball, right?
I like it because of the balance. You don't have to worry about laying down and not seeing what's going on.
Okay. I don't use machines too often either, but when it comes down to contest preparation, I'm one for variety.
Yeah, variety is essential in your exercise program, especially when you're doing a body part over and over again. So you have to have a wide variety of exercises, not only to hit the muscle from different angles, but to maintain that enthusiasm. That's real important. Come on, Shawn.
3 more.
That's it. Come on. Good.
2.
You notice the full range of motion that Shawn is getting on this exercise. Okay.
I train smart, basically trying to utilize heavy weight, short repetitions, energy conservatively. You got to use a heavy movement with power movement workout, basically using 2 hands or 2 feet together. Not try to max all out on smaller muscle groups, making sure big muscles are trained heavier, smaller muscles are trained more steady, but not so bombarded with heavy muscles, with heavy workout weights.
What we're doing here is another variation of the kickback. You can also do this with a dumbbell.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Again, this is going to etch in the striations in the tricep, which is what we're after, as well as the horseshoe effect. The most important thing is keep the elbow stationary and just use it as a pivot point.
Kind of doing a superset here.
That's right. Okay, kick it out.
Those who have a problem trying to understand, this is the tricep and that's his leg, although they're about the same size.
Yeah, well, you're only going to get them bigger by training, right?
Absolutely.
He's leaning into the apparatus and holding onto the machine for balance. I'll show you another variation of that. I like to do it off my knee. I'm going to go just the opposite, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to start from the bottom. I like to do it off my knee. Leaning down here, get my elbow in the stationary point and just kick it back.
Good. Yeah, either combination is fine. Just whatever works for you. We'll swap around here. Main thing is to keep the intensity and the enthusiasm high, getting a fantastic tricep pump here. Great.
Doesn't really matter
Shawn's
which
gonna,
order you do.
No, Shawn's going to grab it from the top now. Again, this works for full range, not only the back head of the tricep, but the outer head as well. Great. That's it, Shawn. Good.
One more.
See, Shawn just supports his body on his leg where I was holding on to the frame. Okay, Vince.
Let's start up top.
Okay. Good.
Okay, now the arm development, a lot of it is just illusion. It really doesn't matter how big the arm is, but more rather how complete it is.
Well, what's impressive about Vince's arm, too, and adds to the illusion, look how tiny his wrists are,
Yeah,
you know, which
right in there.
is a very nice flow to the size of the arm.
Makes his forearm look bigger.
That's right. That's right.
That's
Power of
genetics.
illusion.
Yeah, I know my dad's got very big wrists, you know, and so as a result, his arm just looks like it just goes straight up like this. But with Vince's, it's small, boom, goes out in the
Very
palm.
impressive.
So you notice, Shawn, I leaned into the machine myself also,
Good,
just for a little
good.
balance, like Boyer to a point.
That's it. Good. Get it all the way back.
Right.
Okay, let's hit that other arm then. Okay, I'm going to grab it from the top again.
You're in there.
Okay.
I got you back there. Okay? Good. Now, Vince, I noticed that when I do triceps, I get pretty sore. And then when I turn around and I do chest somewhere down the line, my chest exercises sometimes are affected by that.
Right.
Triceps get so much soreness in them. What do you do for soreness?
Basically, I try to make sure I got a high degree of protein in my diet, just for that recuperation, rebuilding phase, and nutrition. Then a lot of rest in between.
Yeah. Do you ever use straps?
Always.
Good. I use straps too. I got a very weak grip. And on anything like this, where you're doing pulling exercises, I have to have that tight end so it takes the emphasis off my hand. Good, boy. Perfect. His body is very stationary. All the action is taking place in the tricep. The elbow is just a pivot point. Good. Good job. This is an easy curl bar. We're moving right on into biceps now. Boyer's grabbing the wide grip on the bar, and what this is a variation of the straight curl bar. I know you used both bars before, Vince. What this is going to enable you to grab the bar and hit the bicep at a different angle
Good job.
based on each set. Come on, Boyer.
Size of this guy.
If you grab the bar out wide, Vince, what advantage is that?
You know, I like to use a variation grip, Shawn, but when I go wide, I like to, concentrate on the outer head of the bicep.
And I preferably for the inside grip because of my wrist. I like to grab it in a little bit closer.
Right.
Okay, let's see that wide grip.
All right. Watch this closely now. It might be a little unorthodox.
You know I'm watching. Look at those arms. Okay, here we go. Oh, he's grabbing a little bit wider than you were.
Actually, I've never seen anybody grab it that wide. This is new to me.
Well, that's good because you learn something each person we bring in the show.
Florida style.
Florida style.
Well, it works. Look at the size of those arms.
All right, now this is
that's
relatively light for Vince. I'm sure he probably goes heavier workouts with his training for the Olympia. Do you?
Well, sometimes yes and no, Shawn. I had a bicep injury back in '86, and I kind of like restrict heavy movements to low weight.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
grabbing it close.
You notice that Shawn is grabbing it in close. This works the inner head of the bicep more. Grabbing it wide works the outer head. You also know the easy curl bar is bent. The advantage of that is, besides creating a different angle for the bicep, it also takes a lot of stress off the wrist. That's it, Shawn. Good.
3 more for Vince.
Come on.
Right.
All the way. Good.
Get 5 to catch me, Shawn.
Good. Come on, let's go. Let's get it up here.
Cut the cameras. I got to know.
Okay, all right. Let's go to the next exercise.
Okay. All right. Now this is going to be called the curl machine.
Right.
Machine curls.
Right.
I don't have this apparatus in my gym. We've got variations of it.
Okay, you'll notice that the pad here is a little short, and the advantage of that is the elbow is actually off of the pad. It's right on the pivot point here.
Yeah, because a lot of people make the mistake of putting their elbows up here and
Right.
then the pivot.
Right. Also, this will really isolate the lower part of the bicep. Okay.
Now, Vince, I know you've had a bicep problem in the past. What are you doing to work your way around that, circumference that thing?
I kind of stay away from the machine training. I like to go a little free weight, a little bit more versatility, mobile. But machines kind of like keep you in. If I keep the weight low,
Right.
perfect execution, perfect movement.
Good. Look at the split coming in on Boyer.
guy's
And when
in great
Boyer's already in great shape, but when he's extra lane and ultra lane, you can actually see the split on the bicep.
You know, you're always talking about that split.
There it is.
That's
Right in there. Do that again. Do that again. Look at that. Okay, now is that genetic or can I train to get that?
That's genetic. You know, like I said, my dad's 75 and he can do that. He doesn't work out at all.
When you don't have it, blame it on genetics. Okay.
Okay, Shawn.
Off the
That's
edge.
it. Good. Now see, Shawn again grabbed the bar wider where I had it in a little bit closer this time. Either way works fine, but it allows you a full range of motion. No cheating on the movement. You can't swing the weight back. This totally isolates the bicep. Great. That's it, Shawn. Good.
Let's try some of this. Might have to put this on the plane and take it back. Boy, I understand you specialize in this equipment.
But we had to bring you in for the show, Vince. I got to find out what's making you tick. You know what I mean?
Well, before the show's over with today, we're going to have all the secrets, and we'll put them all out of them.
Let me ask you, Boyer. I know that Vince says he eats a lot of protein to recover from heavy workouts. What do you do?
Yeah, I think it's important, and a good rule of thumb I always try to practice is based on body weight. That's the
Watch
only
this,
formula
Shawn
you
Ray.
can
You
really
better
use.
watch
Come on.
this.
You better get one more,
That's
then.
it.
You
Better watch this, Shawn Ray. All right, baby.
Good. Yeah, on the protein, I would say like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is probably about accurate. Okay, let's move on to the next one here.
All right, what is the next one? Where
Okay, all right. This is a little something different, a good finishing off bicep exercise we're going to do on a cable crossover machine. Again, this particular exercise isolates the lower head of the bicep. Doesn't require a whole lot of weight, but really isolates the bicep.
Now, is this a power movement or shaping?
See, that's one. A lot of people have different opinions. I don't really think it matters. The muscle doesn't know if it's a shaping movement or a power movement. Main thing is to keep the intensity high.
Let arms look like that. You do what you want to do.
Vince, let me ask you a real quick question. How many exercises do you do in your bicep routine when you're training for competition?
Actually, only 3, Shawn. I use a lot of cables and some dumbbells and leave it at that.
This exercise right here is just a segue into the front double bicep pose on stage, right? Basically, you're doing the same exact thing.
Exactly.
You just don't bring your elbows up as high. Is that right, Boyer?
That's correct, yeah. Actually, this is a good movement to practice for going into a double bicep exercise. That's it.
Now, is this better to do in front of a mirror?
I think, well, you know, this is one thing about a gym. I think gyms would go out of business if they didn't have mirrors.
That's true.
Everybody loves to see themselves in the mirror. That's great, Shawn. Good.
I'm too modest for a mirror. Come on, guys.
That's hard for us to believe. That's hard for us to believe. Okay, Vince, you're set.
Let me try some of this.
You know
Okay.
what's weird about Vince being here today? Is that you see him in the magazines, you know, and all of that is like when he's already peaked out,
Right.
ultra ripped and ultra shredded. It's not often we see another top-notch bodybuilder slightly in the off-season.
Feeling good, though.
Feeling good. You'll feel a lot better, I know that.
Well, this is more of a real shape. People don't realize that when they see you in the contest in the magazine, you can really only hold that shape for a matter of hours or just a couple of days at most.
Right.
Do you want to
Great,
try this with
Vince.
heavy weight, or this should be a light movement?
Well, I think whatever it causes intensity, you know, if we do another set of that, we'll add a little more weight to
What
it.
does it take to look like you, boy? I'll try that.
Let me ask you
Okay.
this while we're here. When you tore your bicep, was it a low tear or a high tear?
Oh,
Was there
low
a
tear right here, absolutely. Straight up from the tendon.
Is there a difference in your arm?
Let's take a look.
No. I don't think so.
This definitely affects the lower part of the bicep. You can't get any momentum swing into the action at all. Strictly bicep.
That's why you have those straight benches, right? That you can stretch all the way down.
Right. You can do a variation of a curved bench, but actually a straight bench, you know, isolates the bottom part of the bicep better.
Yeah, on occasion I'll turn the bench around, and that way I can get a different kind of a feel. But this 90-degree angle really stretches on the lower part of the bicep.
I like to turn the dumbbell.
But again, this is more of a concentration exercise because your arm is stationary here. Your elbow is basically the pivot point, not your shoulder.
Yeah, you can't cheat at all. You notice that Anja is twisting the handle as she comes up, which gives more of a peak contraction at the top of the movement.
But
Great,
still,
Anja.
for guys or girls, this works the bicep, and we all have it.
Oh, that's true.
There's
In
no
other
difference
words,
in male and female.
not
when
at
it comes
all.
to this.
Great, great, Anja.
Only
Keep that
difference really is
intensity.
the size. You know, we have the greater propensity to build size because we have testosterone in this, which is going to give us that strength that we need to get bigger.
I like the way you caught yourself. You started to say better, and that's not true.
Not better, but we just have a little bit more, so we get
Great.
bigger. That's
If you
all.
want to
That's
help
it.
yourself, like that.
Great, great. Okay, I'm going to do the same exercise, the preacher curl, but I'm going to use a different variation using the barbell.
All right, bring the bar. And you're gonna. Boyer's using the fixed weight bar. On occasion, you'll find guys will use also the easy curl bar or the straight 45 Olympic bar that they add weights on as they go.
I like to use the easy bar because it's better on your ankle.
Right. And what you're doing here is you got focus on both biceps because they're both being worked at the same time.
Yes.
And he's got a little bit wider grip, which is going to definitely give him a better peak at the top. Good for you.
Which Boyer normally doesn't need.
Oh, he doesn't need it.
He just have a great.
When a guy's got a great developed arm like Boyer, I always say it's just genetic. He didn't work hard. He was born with arms like this. He didn't have to train to get that.
But Boyer did work hard.
Yeah, oh, you have to. I mean, everybody's born with a certain amount of genetics. Those that maximize and realize those genetic potentials that are going to go on.
Well, that's the secret, Shawn. If there's one secret to all this bodybuilding thing, it's the effort that you put into it. Let's go to the next bicep
I have seen you
exercise.
doing this exercise here, Boyer. And I
Okay.
guess this is really a peak exercise of yours, right?
Correct.
Take us into this one, Boyer.
Okay.
It's a special handle.
This is a slight variation of just a standing curl, but we're using a cable this time. You notice how Anja's catching the handles in close. This is great because it works the inner head of her bicep.
Right.
As she comes up, it contracts the muscle on the inside.
All right. What's the reason we're using the cable instead of just a bar?
Well, the advantages of a cable is that it keeps tension on the bicep, on the muscle throughout the entire movement.
Right.
Okay, I'll go next here.
How was that, Anja?
Feels good. I never did this exercise with this kind of handle,
Bar,
you
yeah.
call it, right?
Well, you know what I find about bodybuilders in general? A lot of people think, gosh, you must spend all day in the gym. How many hours do you train?
No.
It only takes a few number of reps and a few number
Yes.
of sets. But the main thing is to get the rest and recuperation. That's
Yes.
what you're going to grow.
I'm normally in the gym for 1 hour per day.
Concentration, slow and deliberate. Elbows tight to the side.
You said you're in the gym 1 hour a day. You train twice a day or just once a day?
In off-season, I train once a day, 1 hour per day, and twice a week I throw in an hour of aerobics.
I see. Great,
Or,
Shawn.
I
Curl
feel
it.
a little bit in my forearms too. It's kind of like a hammer curl.
Exactly, yeah. In other words, you get some forearm movement in the very top part of the motion there. But it's more of a concentrated peaking exercise because you keep tension on the movement.
All right, let's go to a more concentrated
Okay.
exercise.
Concentration
Moving on.
curls.
That's right. What better name than that? We got concentration curls coming up here. Anja's doing another variation of the concentration curl by hanging off the bench. But the main thing is to keep the elbow at the pivot point and not swing it with your shoulder.
Exactly. She's using no momentum at all, just pure muscle and getting the dumbbell up. Again, you notice how she rotates her hand to peak the muscle at the top.
That's right. And when you train biceps, it's not a race. You're not going to get exhausted like you would on the leg
Right.
machine. So you really got to concentrate on it. Keep your concentration, attention on the muscle.
But the muscle will fatigue quicker as compared to, say, a larger muscle group because it's so much smaller.
Smaller the fibers are smaller,
Yeah.
more condensed.
For in the back, when you train back, you got so many more muscles, you know, involved. Bicep is just basically bicep.
And let me ask you, what's the relation between the poundage and the size of the actual arm?
Well, I definitely think there's a correlation between size and strength, and naturally, the more resistance that you handle in a movement, and
Right.
in particular doing it correctly, you're going to stress the muscle that much more,
Right.
you know, causing it to grow.
Doing a little different. Why don't you tell them what the difference is here?
Okay, here Shawn is doing it seated, which I will do also. He's got his back of his arm, his tricep braced up against his leg, eliminating any swing. You can see he's got a hell of a bicep there too. Great, Shawn.
Now, if I wanted to cheat though for you with a heavier weight, it's okay to swing it back just a little bit.
That's right, but as you do swing back, concentrate on lowering the weight, you know, slower. The eccentric part of the movement, the down part, is very, very
Or
important.
you want to hold it on the top for a while and keep this peak.
That's it. Good.
You
Great.
can also do negatives, right?
That's correct.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let him down very slowly.
Okay, my
Negative.
set.
Yeah, I can feel it fatiguing. If I'm going to do negatives, I definitely need to have some wrist straps. Good for it.
Look at this peak.
Yeah,
Come on,
you know,
boy,
there's
show
only,
it to us.
there's only a
Great.
few bodybuilders in bodybuilding that have that split and that extra peak. Robbie Robinson, Samir Banu's got an excellent bicep split. And all the pictures I've seen of Boyer in all the magazines, the thing that glares at the most is that split down the
Yeah.
bicep. You can't really train to get that split.
No, you're born with it, but I mean, I have mine when I'm in on-season
Yeah,
too.
when you're in shape.
Well, actually, the split is more, you know, more muscle control. You know,
Look at
than-
that.
I gotta figure this one out. I'm gonna pick your brain later on.
You just got to stand in front of the mirror and do it for a
Selection
long
trip.
time.
Okay. We got a couple of more minutes left. About 2 or 3 more minutes, and our 30 minutes are up. I'm gonna do a couple more reps. Take us out of
Okay,
here.
you're on.
Okay.
Come on.
Bring it home.
1, 2, 3,